lifestyle doesn't have to be a dream, and wellness doesn't have to be an activity you save for downtime. Instead, elevate your personal and professional life with the tips, tools, and insight to holistically support healthier habits. Join me, Dr. Callie Davis, in the Mind-Body Connection for enlightening conversations, inquisitive panel discussions, and illuminating stories from experts in the medical and healing communities who are leading the movement toward a holistic approach to health. This week on the Mind-Body Connection, I'm sharing with you an interview that is very dear to my heart. We recorded this interview with Carolynn Anderson, founder of CMA Medical Massage, at the International Fascia Congress in New Orleans in August. And if you've been listening along, you know that we've had a series of speakers. The really cool thing about Carolynn is that she was actually staying in the hotel right beside me, and we did not know each other prior to the conference. And we needed to borrow an extra chair to do our podcasting in our room. So we knocked on our neighbor's door, and lo and behold, it was Carolynn. And she is the sweetest angel. And I love talking to her and finding out more about the work that she does in the world of healing. So I hope you enjoy this interview. I'll tell you a little bit about Carolynn. She was inspired in her early years by Dr. Ross Turchaninov to found her own practice in 2014. She's devoted her career to helping people find relief from pain that often feels unsolvable. With a background in home health care, nursing, and years of advanced training, she blends deep knowledge with a heartfelt, hands-on approach. I am so thrilled to welcome you, Carolynn Anderson, on the podcast today for Mind-Body Connection. Thank you for giving us your time to come and talk and to share with us your knowledge and your work. And here we are all together at Fascia Research Congress here in New Orleans. So to be able to step out of the Congress and conference mode and into just a one-on-one conversation with me, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. It's a very good honor to be here, and it's been great being at the Congress.
Yeah, and so you were sharing with me previously that you've had some of the hands-on work with the speakers and teachers here. And so for our listeners, can you explain what that was like to be kind of the patient on the table with some of these expert minds and hands around you?
Right. It was pretty amazing. We as therapists don't often get on the table.
Yeah.
And when we do, it's a treasure. It's a joy. And so these people that had their hands on my neck and my abdomen, my feet, it was, their hands were warm. And it was a very safe and comforting place to be. And then they're very expert, so they know what they're doing. And I could feel the results of the fascia releasing the muscles and more movement, definitely.
Yes. What does it feel like when the fascia releases? What sensations happen?
It's a soft, it's a warmth, it's fluid. And then I had another experience with Dr. Joseph, and he had his hands above and below, and it was a compressive feeling, but it was safe and comforting. It's what I needed at the time.
Yes, calming to the nervous system. Isn't it beautiful that we get to be in this collective sharing, learning? The way that Dr. Tina Wang was describing it earlier is that there's some discomfort and tension in being out of our own comfort zones.
Yes.
Right? And we're all in this kind of shared experience of stepping out of that comfort zone just in order to be able to be with each other and to talk about our varied backgrounds and points of view and to even, feel touch from each other.
That's right.
So we have a really special collection of people here that are into all those things.
Very definitely. It's been brought to my attention in the last 2 or 3 years that we are energetic beings, that we are bioelectromagnetic beings. Somehow we show up in solid form.
Yeah.
And the sharing of that energy has in this Congress has been like nothing I've experienced before.
Yes, I can. So if we can feel that we have some type of intuitive knowledge and feeling when we're with each other in one of the session breakout rooms, that it's almost like we're like one big brain or one big nervous system in that room.
Yes.
Have you felt that too?
That's very true. It was in 2023 that I really realized, if I may speak this, how we are made in the image of God, my creator, our creator, higher power. I believe it's okay. And I believe that he is love, and love created every living thing on this earth. And so then our true essence is love. And if we could just all realize that, then this feeling from this Congress, the knowledge could be spread around the world. And then we would truly have peace on earth.
Yeah, totally. And it is a feeling. It's like we can embody that feeling of
Yes.
love. And it's funny, right? Because we're both very anatomically trained, very scientifically trained in the tissues of the body and diseases of the body and all the things that could go wrong in this magnificent thing that we are. And yet being able to talk about love is like, it evokes, what the feeling of love is. Like, we don't have really the language around that quite yet, but we can influence the world by feeling it.
Yes. And by doing, and the words we speak, let them be intentional. And that is all energy.
Yes, absolutely. And then how we see it so dynamic and so changing, so that we really can't anticipate the next thing. There's so much unknown in our human point of view that we cannot see, and how we kind of are conditioned in a way of like being fearful of that unknown. Like, I don't trust that yet. I don't know what that is out there yet. I don't know what's coming up next. I see my patients in a lot of fear as well, and how that affects their muscle system, fascia, nervous system, thought patterns, all of the fear. So how would you say, in your experience and your connection with higher power, your connection with God, how would you say we could help with patients who are in fear?
The way I do at the office is when I greet them with a smile and a handshake, and I welcome them into my office, and we sit down and we talk. And I take in their history, and I let them talk. Someone to get on the table right now, but I slow it down with an intake form, and then we go over that. What's wrong with you physically? How do you handle that depression and anxiety? And what are your self-care methods that you're doing right now?
Yeah.
And maybe we need to look at the stress that is in your life. And it feels like a whole gamut of things that I'm dealing with, and I am, because to really affect the body, you have to affect the person, and that is spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical.
Yeah.
Because we're not just physical.
Yes, we're all of these integrated. Well, we've thought of them as parts, and they're not really parts. Our mind and our body are united together. Our spirit is united in our mind and body. So we can't go separating them like we have traditionally done in Western medicine.
We're an organism. We're not a mechanism of systems.
Oh, I like that. Organism meaning how we are changing, living, breathing, adapting.
Very right.
I love this. And in your work as a massage therapist, you have actually a very eclectic blend, I think, from what we've talked about, where you combine Reiki skills and bodywork skills and specific massage training skills too that you were educated in. Can you talk to us more about your mentor and your training through massage therapy?
Yes, when I was had a change of life, and I do have 6 children, so that was quite a change of life.
Yeah.
Coming out of a marriage, and I'm going, okay, what do I do now? Well, I felt like I've always wanted to have a large family and to be a massage therapist, and I love horses too. And so that'll come into the talk here in a few minutes. But so I went to massage school, traditional, spa massage school, which was a nice background in Johnson City, Tennessee. And so I spent just a few months, well, more like a year and a half, in the spa setting. And I had my own office. And so then I asked a colleague, what are you doing for continuing ed? And she says, well, I have gone to a recent seminar with Dr. Ross Turchaninov, Science of Massage, and it's medical massage. And I'm going, say no more. That's what I want to be certified in, because I want to make a difference in people's lives on the real level.
Right.
And so he showed us that we could resolve many problems: frozen shoulder, carpal tunnel,
Yeah.
and headaches even, as long as they weren't hormone-driven migraines. And so over the next 9 months, I traveled across the United States to these 3-day seminars in different states. Now he's mainly based in Phoenix, Arizona. And so it takes about 104 hours of study with Dr. Ross and testing also at the end. And I became a certified medical massage practitioner at the school where I went to in Johnson City, Tennessee in October of 2013. That was a highlight of my life.
Nice. That's beautiful. I can tell how meaningful that course of training was to you. It really kind of shaped who you are now with your work, with your profession, and probably what ended up bringing you to places like this with like fascia growth, right? It's like that edge of pushing.
Always a lifelong learner, aren't we?
Yeah, very cool. What do you feel like, if you were to describe the medical massage approach to a layperson, what do you feel like are those like highlight components of it? What makes it different than a typical massage?
Sure, the training for one thing with Dr. Ross, because he's high level. He came from Ukraine over to the United States, based in Phoenix, Arizona now. And he was wanting to be a general surgeon like his father. His mother was a OBGYN. So then his grandfather, just to give you a little history, because I think this is very interesting.
Yeah.
His grandfather was almost considered a country hero from World War I because of his rehabilitative methods of saving so many lives and limbs of the soldiers.
Wow.
And so then when the director of medical massage part of the medical school in Ukraine heard that there was the grandson, he snatched him right up and said, we want you in our school.
Wow.
And I said, we'll edit that one. And so he did go into medical massage and just rose to the top. He's got 2 degrees in orthopedics and rehabilitative medicine. He is an LMT, a PT, an OT, a chiropractor. He's all of that. And a surgeon.
One of a kind.
Really.
Wow.
He's unique.
And he still practices currently?
Oh, he does. He's probably late 50s now.
Cool.
And still going strong and practices and teaches. And there are 2 schools that have opened up, one on the west side and the east side, that use his textbooks. He's written 3 textbooks. And they follow his protocols, about 60-plus protocols for different conditions of the body. And
wow.
yeah, so to describe medical massage to the layperson, that would be when I went to massage school, that was for a nice relaxation massage, a good foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dr. Ross says, forget whatever you learned in school and listen to me. So I haven't forgotten everything. Of course, he didn't mean it literally, totally. And but even to leaning on the table.
Yeah.
A tripod is better than a bipod, so you lean on the table. And what I'm looking at when I palpate the client is for abnormally tense muscle, besides listening to them. And I know my anatomy, so I know what feels appropriate and what is good tissue and fascia.
Yeah.
And so I will talk with them and I'll say, I don't want you to feel more than a 5 unless I tell you ahead of time it's going to be more than a 5 out of 10 on the scale of pain. And so if there's anything uncomfortable or you need a break, then let me know. We discourse in our session.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a relaxation massage, though some have fallen asleep.
Yeah. Right. So relaxed from what you're doing.
Yes, and the purpose is to get the body part out of irregularity and to bring it back into fluidity and mobility.
Yeah. So I would imagine that it feels more specific to that patient.
Right.
Because you're already going in and at the front of the visit and discussing medical history and what's really, their pressing need. And then when you're exploring that in their body, you're connecting more of the dots to their limitations.
Yeah.
Actually what they want to be able to achieve from that massage.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. And I feel like more impactful than checking into like a spa massage where I need to go get a massage and relax. But this is very therapeutic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And so in that regard, do you blend your Reiki work into your massage work, or do you kind of keep it separated?
I very much use Reiki every time I'm giving a massage.
Yes.
Every time we have a session. I don't always talk about that I'm a Reiki master practitioner.
Right.
Because a lot of them wouldn't understand what that is, and some would be put off from that.
Right. I also walk that path as a PT, that I feel like, and one of my Reiki practitioner, my teacher initially would say, Kelly, you're doing Reiki as you're doing manual therapy. Only your mind would separate the two, but you're actually doing them together.
Yes.
And so we have to get into that mindset where we're not doing one separate thing. Now, on the, like you said, the marketing approach or like what you're educating the public on, you might not say to that patient, we're going to do Reiki today, because they might have a stigma or they might not know what Reiki is. And like, what are you talking about?
Well, I come from Northeast Tennessee, and that's pretty much the buckle of the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
So some people will come in and say, and what do you think about Reiki? And I'll say, well, I am, if they're Christian, I am a Reiki master practitioner.
Yeah.
And you can correlate that to the New Testament where Paul says, if any among you are sick, let them call upon the elders, and they shall anoint you with oil, pray over you, lay hands on you, and you shall be healed. And so I think that the package is right here.
That is a beautiful Bible verse to speak to the population demographic you're specifically centered in,
Yeah.
and where you can pull out, from their understanding
Right.
that it's one and the same. There's no difference.
And that's the way I understood it.
Absolutely. I love that. Breaking down the barriers there. Allowing them to receive something that they might otherwise think that is like foreign or bad even, have kind of like a negative connotation with it. Do you ever talk about it like it is just energy or explain Reiki and energy? Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit in the movement.
So I tell them that we are actually electromagnetic beings, and that somehow we show up in physical form, and we touch each other's energy field whenever we're close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on how healthy or less healthy. I don't like to use the negative words. I don't say good and bad in my massage session. I say less affected and more affected sides, so that connotation doesn't stay.
Yeah.
And so their energy field can be strong and wide, but we all have one, whether it's less if we're sick. And I try to keep mine good and healthy and strong so that I can bring them up.
Yeah.
In vibration and all.
Tell us some of the ways that you take care of your own energy.
I meditate,
Mm-hmm.
and I walk. I make sure I use my essential oils, and I love my crystals too.
Yeah.
And crystals are one of those woo-woo things out there maybe for some, but they're not really. If people use, if Timex watches use the clear crystal quartz, and then specific scientific testing equipment has in the past used clear crystal quartz. I understand they're simulated now, and it's probably not the same thing as the created stone, but that's the origin of it. So I think that's great, and I watch what I eat. I take my Epsom salt soaks. I make sure I drink plenty of good fluids, be it peppermint tea or water, reverse osmosis. Love that.
Yeah.
And try to stay on the positive side of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And commingle with like minds and challenging minds too, because in this Congress, a lot of things are way over my head. But that's how we learn, by iron sharpening iron.
I love that. Sharpening the iron is so true, because that in itself, like if you're the iron, it's not going to be comfortable to be sharpened. It's going to feel really raw at times. And I think we're all experiencing that in such a good way. We had Dr. Tina Wang on the podcast this morning, and she was also talking about that discomfort level and how we are adaptable beings and the growth through discomfort. And, I think being vulnerable as individuals really helps us to be a more authentic, genuine version of ourselves as professionals too. We can learn to be vulnerable in the clinic.
I saw that when Dr. Schleip was being interviewed by two therapists.
Yeah.
And at the end, they said, "What do you want these clinicians to take back to their office for their patients or clients?" And he thought for a couple seconds. He's got the white hair, the sparkly blue eyes, and that grin that goes from ear to ear.
Yeah.
So precious.
Yeah, charming.
And he said, "I was sleeping out under the stars, under the Milky Way." And he says, "We know nothing. Here's little Robert. We know nothing."
Yeah.
But then he got a sparkle in his eye, and he says, "But we get to discover." And then he says, he puts his finger up, "As long as we're humble."
Yes.
Love that spirit.
Yes, that is really true. and how we have some barriers in our conventional medical model that I guess historically have not shown that humility is the way forward, like.
Yes, for the majority of the what you just said. But I had a semi-retired general vascular surgeon, and he came to my office, and he keeps coming back to me because he needs it. And we talk about fascia all the time. I tell you what, it's so exciting to be able to talk to a surgeon like this one-on-one, and he's listening to someone that knows a little bit more about fascia than he does.
Yes.
And he says, I said to him one time, wouldn't it be neat if the medical schools actually acknowledged the muscular and fascial systems in their schools? How much better could you all do your work?
Yes.
And he says, yes, that's true.
Absolutely. I feel like people in this Congress, Carla Stecco, being able to bridge that gap and develop the anatomical explanations, superficial versus deep, the innervations of it. I feel like that is what's going to take us there in medical training. That it is so much more appreciated and just known about its function and its structure and how amazing it is. It really makes us who we are as these physical bodies. So it's so fun, isn't it, to kind of sit in this big playground with all of these kids around that are just full of awe and wanting to discover and recognizing that we don't know anything.
Yes.
About
the
that.
sense of humor. The sense of humor and the humility, like you say. It's pretty awesome. And the love.
The love. It creates much more of an environment of, that we're all the same. And that
we can learn from each other.
Absolutely. We have let's see, one of our guests put it this way, where our degrees just kind of fall away, and our credentialing falls away because we end up in conversation like this.
Yes.
And
networking is very, very important. And they all see that. They see that very clearly.
Absolutely. I mean, I was in a room yesterday and I had that realization that look left. Oh, there's lots of gurus and mentors that I love and adore to my left and to my right. And I'm kind of establishing this awareness in my mind that these are people that I admire and I follow their knowledge base, but we're all in that same room together learning.
Yeah.
And how that sharpens all of us, really.
Yeah.
And then you and I will both take from this Congress that sharpness and that invigoration and that renewal of our passions, and we'll take that right back into our patient care.
For sure.
Totally. Is there anything else that you want to discuss? Crystals? I love crystals.
Well, crystals they've got their own vibration, just like the oils do, just like any created thing does.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's different crystals for different chakras and ailments.
Yes. Let's talk about clear quartz. I brought my rose clear quartz. No, not my rose. I brought my heart clear quartz, and it's from my Reiki master who recently taught our Reiki class here in New Orleans.
Yes.
And I love that clear quartz, that it's very grounding to me. And it's also a way to just center and cleanse. It's kind of get off the muck of the day or whatever little things were hanging around in my psyche and my spirit, and to just be able to reset and cleanse.
And builds your energy up too, especially, and healing, for healing. When I was at Reiki school, I went to the local crystal shop, and Misty Mountain in Bristol. And I found these 2 girls from Texas had gone there the day before, and they got their crystals for their grid. And then I went the next day. They didn't see this 6-inch long spear that had broken crystals on the end, and it was like a handle. And it was beautiful. And I had not felt the energy in my hands before I got that crystal.
Wow.
And I'd gone through level 1, level 2, and now here's the Reiki Master level. And I'm going to my teacher, Marita, I can't feel what everyone's saying they're feeling from inches off their hands. And she says, that's okay, it'll come. And then I went home and I did the crystal over my hand, and I'm going, can that be? Is that what they felt? I'm feeling it.
Amazing.
It was amazing.
See, I feel the stories that are in those things that happen to us, like that crystal energy that has been in that physical form for that long brought that and unlocked that for you.
And now I understand that I'm a vessel, and that my God, the higher power, flows through me, and he will heal them as they will allow.
Yes, when they are ready and how they're ready. And being a vessel or a channel, I feel, is another aspect of humility for us as professionals, because we are not there to put on our doctor hats and fix.
No. We work with the patient, not on the patient.
Yes.
Client.
Absolutely. And we're working with those higher forces that are bigger than us. And to be a clear channel and a clear vessel, it takes the extra work on ourselves.
Yes. I'm recently I have started leasing a horse. And so, of course, I'm taking my massage to the horse. Now I'm going to get certified in equine massage.
Awesome. I love that.
They are such spiritual animals. They're a very large prey animal, so they're always on guard. Their sympathetic is always, heightened. So with just a slight touch, airspace sometimes, on the horse, you can see them just go into parasympathetic.
It was beautiful. And they just settle. Oh, that's very beautiful.
Yeah, they lick and chew, or their neck goes down, their lower jaw gets loose, and different ways you can see them relaxing like that.
Oh my gosh, that can be so effective as medicine for horses who have been in traumatizing environments, or like race horses, or horses that don't get to have like their freedom.
Yep.
You're right. That's beautiful.
And then the owners witnessing that, and then I can go to the owners also and teach them how to better care for their horses and how to better care for themselves, and apply my massage to them also as they will.
That is wonderful, which I know my niece is an equestrian, and her connection and her relationship with her horse is everything. She's a teenager. She would really value that deeper connection with her horse, just in being able to help them in that way.
Very much unconditional love.
Yeah, totally. Well, and that's, animals teach us that. Like, if we're picking up on those cues, it's really beautiful what they can show us. So in your journey from massage therapist to medical massage, integrating Reiki, and then heading into equine therapy, that is just magnificent. How many living beings on the planet you can influence and touch and help to heal.
And they me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's working both ways.
It definitely works.
Whether we acknowledge that or not, it's working both ways. So I think it's even better to say it and talk about it and bring it out in the open, because it helps other people who might be, afraid or not as savvy or not as comfortable talking about. I'm really tired of using the word woo-woo at this point. Can we call it something else than woo-woo? But the esoteric or the more energetic language, I feel like it helps everyone be a little more at ease, even in our science world.
Yes.
So,
And another thing I would like to say is that it was at 53, I went into massage school, and at 54, I graduated. And, I might be 66 now, but I'm going on 40, really.
love that.
There's never a time to stop learning because we weren't meant to die.
Yes, I love that. In that, whatever we're pursuing, it doesn't matter the age.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly.
The age is a number thing. I feel like if we were to take a sample of our population here at the Congress, I feel like we would have a lot of people in agreement with that. Age is just a number.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I look around in our sessions and I feel young in our demographic at this Congress. And that gives me so much hope and so much like potential learning ahead of me too, that I feel like, you as an example in your 50s pursuing a whole new way of being in this life.
Yeah, because they say that massage therapist career is typically 7 years. I'm going 7 years? Why would I invest in anything that would only last 7 years? And so then that's when I was led into medical massage, and Dr. Ross is saying tripod is stronger than a bipod, to stand, to lean against the table, to use your body weight. It's not all about the hands and the wrist. My wrists don't get tired. I get tired energetically at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But I love my patient, my clients love me, and the majority of them do turn around. And I've got this one couple, they're 80 years old. They're going to get married soon. This is their second marriage. Both their spouses passed away. But I work on them, and it's like remodeling their bodies, because they do what Carolyn said, and they talk to each other. Well, Carolyn said this, and Carolyn said, like Dr. Kelly, right? And so
relationship,
the love there, the advice, the good advice taken, what fits them, they leave what doesn't fit them. And so I see these people becoming younger as they come to my sessions and also follow their homework.
Yes. Do you feel like that is joy in a sense? Like, or what is making them younger, if we could?
It's hope. It's love. It's not living in fear anymore that it's always going to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Back to like tapping into that feeling of love and presence and just being here and being grateful that we're here.
And I talk like this to my clients too.
Oh, totally.
The ones that are open to it. And I'll say a couple sentences to see if they're open to it. If they're not, I am quiet then.
Yeah, that's being, it's honoring where they're at. And I think we always carry that along with that willingness to share, from a higher level or from a more genuine, deeper level of ourselves, for sure.
Yeah.
Carolynn, thank you so much for being here with us today to sit down and talk and to share your wisdom.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Dr. Kelly.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.